Senator from Anderson, for what purpose do you rise? Senator from Anderson, on a point of personal interest.
Mr. President, members of the Senate, I'm kind of losing my voice, but I just had to let y'all know something else. We might as well put on the calendar something we're going to call Daily Do Disaster. It just never ends. This morning, the senator from Lexington asked a simple question. He wanted to know, was it true that 69 employees got a $437 raise, including one with a 37% pay raise at the same time these other positions were cut? Senator from Lexington, I don't think you asked for the Social Security number or the names. You just wanted to know what's going on, right? I get this email from a member of the media that asked this question to the department. Their response was, it is agency policy that we do not comment on personnel actions. So in other words, Senator from Lexington, $437,000, I guess it's just not our business as to what they do with it.
Senator from Lexington, what purpose do you?
Yes,
Senator
sir.
Yields.
Senator, was it a personnel policy that they made it public? Did they cut loose 55 people? So as long as they're cutting them loose, it's okay, but if they're raising 69 people's salaries $437,000, then it's not public.
That's the way I read it, Senator.
So
one thing's public and one thing's not.
So we're only going to tell the public when we're cutting government, but we're not going to tell the government whenever we're raising everybody's salary.
That's the way I read into this response.
And one of them, Senator, was over 50% that was raised.
That was the question.
Another one was 37%, Senator.
Well, that was the question. Now, did the reply say, maybe Senator from Lexington was off on his numbers, maybe this happened, maybe that happened? No, the reply was, none of your business.
And Senator Yield, for another question?
Yes, sir.
Senator, was the director invited to the committee meeting?
It was on the agenda, yes, sir.
And was he there?
No, sir.
And did you also get some other information?
He was on the State House grounds, and he was seen leaving. Maybe they were going. Maybe they had another beach trip. I don't know, but wasn't there.
Senator from Fairfield, for what purpose do you rise?
If the senator from Anderson would yield for a question.
Senator Yield?
Yes, sir.
Senator Yields.
I want to apologize to you. I was over here doing something else. Would you reiterate to me what happened again now?
Senator, this is the Daily Do disaster.
Well,
it just never ends.
I understand that now.
This morning in committee, the senator from Lexington asked the question, is it true that 69 employees got a raise of $437,000, including one with a 37% pay raise, and he's told me there's one with a 50% pay raise. A member of the media tried to confirm this with the agency. The reply was, it is agency policy that we do not comment on personnel actions. Well, this action, they simply, and as Senator from Lexington pointed out, they told us about the positions being cut for the services, but they're not going to tell us about the pay raise, $437,000.
And when were these pay raises? When did they occur? Do we know?
It is the agency policy that we do not comment on personnel actions.
It's
none of your business, Senator.
Okay.
$437,000 of your constituents' money, and it's none of your business why it was done.
Okay.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
I know. I understand that.
I'm telling you what their response is.
So from what I understand, the pay raises occurred between August 1 and now. Is that correct? Is that what you heard?
It is agency policy that we do not comment on personnel actions.
So they won't even tell you that. But if I told you that I was instructed just now that these pay raises occurred between August 1 and now, would you be surprised at that information?
Well, Senator, if we can't get it confirmed, I guess we can just assume it's true unless they can say that's wrong. It's not true.
So what they're doing is closing, or not closing, but removing the unemployed helpers in Fairfield County, in Chester County. But then the people back in the administration, growing bureaucracy, but where the rubber meets the road, we're not getting any services.
That's the way it appears, Senator.
And I ask you again, for the second day in a row, has the governor's office called you to try to get this thing resolved, or has the general over at Dew contacted you or me to try to sit down and put these people back in the rural areas?
I haven't gotten that phone call.
So we're going to be sitting here and letting the public know and letting the news know what's going on, and they're going to be sitting over there in their ivory tower getting these pay raises.
Evidently.
And so the people in my area, one guy that came to my office, he was riding a bicycle from his house to the unemployment
Now he's got to
office
ride
in
to
Fairfield.
Columbia, right?
Right. So now he's going to have to ride his bicycle 26 or 30 miles from Fairfield County to Columbia.
I believe that's what he's going to have to do.
Okay. Well, that's
unless maybe, you know, I don't know, would you go through Columbia on the way to Myrtle Beach? Maybe one of the employees that does something else in Fairfield County on their way to Myrtle Beach or on their way to Hilton Head can give him a ride.
Well, that's right. Or maybe he can ride his bike and he can speak at the seminar they're having at Myrtle Beach at Kingston Plantation.
He'd probably have to ride his bike all the way down there, I would imagine.
Okay. Thank you.
And what purpose do you rise?
Senator Yield.
Yes, sir.
Senator Yields.
Senator, do we have a list of all the agencies in state government, all the state government agencies, and whether or not this is a pattern or we just know about this one?
A pattern of what? About speaking out about personnel matters?
About directors and administration, the state administration, the governor's office, raising salaries for individuals in those agencies. Are we just aware of this particular agency? And do we have, I know you're not, but do we have some person to actually grind with this agency? I mean, what's going on? Because I'm sure that this is a pattern throughout the departments in state government, that they raise salaries all the time. The governor's office raises salaries all the time. And also, with federal money involved with the agency, sometimes they have to have major cutbacks. What I'm asking is, are you aware of this being a pattern in state government, or are we just targeting this agency?
Senator, I would assume that any agency, if a legislator wants to know the justification of some personal issues, we don't need to know the names of these folks or their address or anything like that. But I would imagine I've seen a lot of times when an agency's asked, just give us the reasons. Why are you doing this? I would think you would get some kind of answer.
Well, can I make a suggestion to us, the members of the Senate?
Yes, sir.
Can maybe the Senate pro tem, appoint a committee, maybe the finance chairman appoint a committee to look at state government, period, and find out how many people got raises over the past year? Because I don't want to bring down the morale of an agency with those employees. They're doing a good job, and every day we got to find ways to pick on them. It's not fair to that agency. And I met the director of the agency, and I mean, you can't find have you ever talked to the general?
Yes.
Because you can't find a better person. I mean,
very, very pleasant gentleman.
So before we do all of this crashing of the agencies, can maybe we have somebody, maybe the chairman of finance or the Senate pro tem, to appoint a committee to go out and see what's going on in state government as far as other departments doing the same thing? Because I don't think it's fair for us every day to pick on one agency if everybody else is doing it.
Well, Senator, I just want to repeat what I said yesterday. There's no axe to grind with anybody. There's problems, and I want to focus on the problem that need to be fixed.
Okay, would you support my suggestion?
I would, yes.
Okay, then.
Senator from Spartanburg, for what purpose do you rise?
See if the senator from Anderson would yield for a question.
Sure.
Senator Yields.
Senator, did you know that you perked my interest when you mentioned the senator from Lexington asked a simple question in your committee today?
Well, I got my attention too.
Did maybe y'all misunderstand, or did they say they were getting that information prepared and sent over to him before session or something maybe? Or were they just flat out told him they didn't comment?
No, he didn't get an answer like that. A member from the media emailed the agency and asked about the $437,000 pay increases, and the reply was, it is agency policy that we do not comment on personnel actions.
Okay, I'm sure we're going to hear more in your daily
I hope
disaster
not.
report.
I hope not.
It'd be nice to get it solved so we don't have to hear it every day. But
It's getting rather old, and I'm sure y'all are getting tired.
the other question I have is you talked about $437,000, but was it just the other day or maybe Tuesday that you talked about they had 89 million in fraudulent claims a year ago, but they were patting themselves on the back because they only had 54 million this year?
That's correct.
That's not thousands, that's millions of taxpayers' dollars, correct?
$54.5 million.
Okay, are we getting any closer to answers on that?
I have not gotten any answers on that.
Okay, well, I hope you're going to continue. Are you going to continue in your quest to find answers to that?
I would like to see South Carolina, who's at the top of another bad list, 5th in the nation. I'd like to see us get to the bottom of that list.
But right now, their incentive, that's not that agency's money, is it? That's money that's coming from the people that we represent who pay taxes, right?
It's coming from the employers who pay unemployment tax.
Okay, well, I applaud your efforts, and I hope that they get you some answers soon.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator from Oconee, for what purpose do you rise?
Bill, for a couple of questions.
Senator
Yes,
Yields?
Senator from
Senator Yields.
Oconee, I'd be glad to.
Good, and thank you.
Senator from Georgetown, state your point of order.
Gentlemen, Mr. President, Senate, I think we've gone through the 5 minutes, and I don't really want to sit anybody down, but I think this is a special day, and if we could ask some of these questions later on, I'd like to get through the calendar.
Point of order sustained.